Two lines are said to be parallel if their slopes are equal. So if the first slope is equal to the second slope, then we know that lines are parallel. Two lines are said to be perpendicular if their slopes are the negative reciprocals of each other. So if the first slope is equal to -1 over the second slope, then they are perpendicular. Alternatively, if you don't want to do that, which can be a little bit confusing, if you multiply the two slopes together and you get -1, that also shows that they are perpendicular. So for the first line, we have the equation y equals 3x minus 5, and for the second line, we have y equals 3x plus 1. So the slope for the first line, since they're both already in y equals mx plus b form, we can just jump in and grab the slope right here, which is 3. So the slope for the first line is 3. And the slope for the second line, which is right here because it's also in mx plus b form, is also 3. So slope for line 2 is 3. So since the numbers are equal, then we can say that these lines are parallel lines. Next, line 1, given by the equation 3y equals -2x plus 6, and line 2, given by the equation 3x minus 2y is equal to positive 12. So we can't get the slope from either of these because they're not in the correct form. So what we're going to do is we're going to solve for y on both of them. So for the first one, 3y equals -2x plus 6. Going to get y by itself by dividing everything by 3. So y is going to equal -2/3 x plus 2. And my slope here for L1 is -2/3. And now I'm going to do it again for this one. 3x minus 2y equals 12. Subtract the 3x over to get the y by itself. So -2y equals -3x plus 12. And then divide everything by -2. Cancels out that, so I get y by itself. So y equals a positive 3/2 x minus 6. And my slope for line 2 is going to be equal to 3/2. So now I have my two slopes, and I can tell right away they are not equal, so that it's not parallel. But if I take the two, and I'm going to do the multiplication option, and I'm going to multiply them, I see that I get -6/6, which reduces down to -1. So since it becomes a -1, I know that these two lines are perpendicular. Finally, I have line 1 given by the equation y equals 1/5 x minus 9, and line 2 given by the equation -5x plus y equals 8. First one, already in y equals mx plus b, so I know that my slope for the first line is positive 1/5. Second line, not so lucky, but shouldn't take too much work to get into the correct form. So I'm going to add 5x to both sides. So I'm going to get y equals 5x plus 8, which means that my slope of this line is positive 5. So I look at these two, 1/5 and 5, not the same, so not parallel. I'm going to try and multiply them together. So 1/5 times 5 is going to give me 5/5, which is 1. But I need it to be a -1 for it to be perpendicular. So since it's not the same, and multiplying does not give me a -1, then I could say that these two lines are neither parallel or perpendicular.